What's up guys, welcome to another Laravel video. In this video we're going to add authentication for two different type of users, customers and sellers. We have already covered authentication for single user. I'll add the video in the description. We're using my shop project for this. This project is already hosted on the GitHub. You can download it, play around with all the instructions in the README. So the use cases, we can have multiple type of user for each application. For example, customer or sellers and admins, or sometimes admins and our user. So in our case, we have customers and sellers. For now, seller can list their items and whereas customer can buy the item. So we need to have two authentication systems. For example, one for customer and the other one for seller. For this, we'll create two tables, a table for customers, a table for sellers, and then we'll add the guards for both of these users and we'll see how the authentication will take place. So yeah, let's dive right into it. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create two tables, one for seller and one for the customer. So yeah, let's add the migrations for these. And let's add the migration for admin tables. Sorry about that. We need to create the migration for customer table. Okay, so I will quickly delete this migration here, and this one we don't want this. Okay, so we'll just go to the users and we'll copy all the field that we need, and we'll paste both for sellers and similarly for the customer. Okay, and yeah, let's go ahead and run this migration, and then we'll start to create the model. Okay, and let's go ahead and create the model. Seller, and then another one we need for the customer. Okay, so let's go ahead and add all the attributes we have to the customer and seller model. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to make this authenticatable, and instead of model we will extend to this. The reason for doing this, all the authentication logic is already here. So it is authenticatable contract, authorizable contract, and can reset password. So we get all the functionalities if we actually inherit this guy. So yeah, now let's go ahead and add the table here, and let's do the same for the seller as well. Okay, so we have this set. So let's go ahead and now add two users, one seller and one customer. Okay, so we'll import these guys, and same for actually we don't need, I just forgot it. So first of all, we will create a seller. So we'll hash the password here, and lastly we'll just save the seller. So I will do the same for the customer as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and check in the database that we got our seller and customer as well. So we have one customer, and similarly let's check for the seller. So yeah, we have seller. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to add both seller and customer guards. So let's go ahead and minimize this and minimize this. So and let's close everything here. So for that we need to go to config auth.php, and here we have the default guard is web, but we don't want the web guard, so we'll change it to user, like maybe we can say customer. And let's go ahead and create the customer guard here, and so we'll create a customer guard and then we'll create a seller. So this is will be called customer, and this will be called seller. And for the customer will be use the customer's provider, and for seller we will use the sellers. And let's go ahead and now add the provider as well. So the purpose of the provider is to actually add all the database queries, and fetching from the database is done through this provider. So this provider is of type eloquent, so it will perform the eloquent query. So we need to actually specify our customer model here, and same thing we will do for the seller as well. So all the database communication is done through this model here for this authentication sellers, and let's change it to seller. So now we have our guard set, we have our seller and customer in the database. So let's go ahead and create the login route for both of these. And so here we need to create two login routes. First one is seller login, We'll name it seller login. So this is the route where we'll display the login page, and for the other one will be post. We will authenticate the seller, and we will be using authenticate method of this controller and seller authenticate. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to create, maybe actually we don't need this, so we only need these two routes for authentication. So let's go ahead and create the seller controller. Okay, cool. So I will go ahead and I will add these two methods here. So here we will pass the request. So this request will be injected by the Laravel IOC container, so we don't have to worry about it. And so let's go ahead and create the view for this. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and we'll add the Reddit view here. Here we can go to view and we will add the view, the directory seller, and the same we should add the login here. Okay, so here we just need to go to home page. We'll copy this code and we'll just replace some of the things here. And yeah, so we'll just remove everything that we have here. Okay, so here to quickly write the template here. So yeah, let me just quickly recap this. So we have added a form here. So this form is post form. This will be submitted to seller authenticate method, this method, and this is the button just button. Let's go ahead and check it in the browser. So we have our form is so the check our form is fine. Let me actually go here and y5. So we have some margin here. So let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so we have our seller login route. So it is working. So yeah, it is actually posting this to the authenticate method. So let's go ahead and try the authentication now. So here we'll just need to validate. Okay, request.validate email is required, and it's email, and then we need password. Password is also required. And so once we have this, we need to get the user via email. So let's check it out. So it's a good practice to actually write this query so you get all the intelligence here. Okay, and so we got the seller, and now we need to validate the password. So to do that, we actually run this hash check. So here we can put request get password, and the next parameter should be model.password. Let's actually type in this guy so we get all the fields here. Okay, so here we will just write if hash check is failed. So it's always good to actually show user a very generic message, so user is not able to guess okay if the email is right or not. So yeah, it's a good thing to do. So once we have everything here, so now the email is fine, the password is fine, the next thing what we can do is we can log in the user. So to log in the user, so first we need to specify the guard. So it will be a seller guard, and then we'll ask it to log in. Okay, so now we will log in the seller using the seller card. So once this is done, we will return this guy to redirect. We'll send it to route items index route. So yeah, and maybe we can show him a message. Welcome. And here we can use model.name. I think this is fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. So first we just submit this. So we're not getting anything. So let's actually enable this validation message. So here for this validation messages, we can actually go into the card body, and I have already wrote a partial for this session messages. So let me just quickly show you that. So it is checking if there is any validation message. So it will display a danger alert with all the validation messages. So yeah, let's go ahead and now check it out. So email field is required and the password is required. So our email is seller@shop.com and password is 123456. And let's try to check the login. So cool. So now we are redirected here, but we don't have a partial here, so we are not seeing the success message here. let's get actually raw, and let's actually display this user here. Instead of setting, we'll display the username. So to do that, I'll just quickly go to navbar, and here we have the setting. So here we'll check if auth guard seller, check if the seller is logged in. So we'll show the seller name. So I think it should work. Let's go ahead and check it out. And if the name is not there, so we'll just show the setting. We also need to add the user here. So I think now it should work. Cool. So yeah, so we are getting the shop seller. And so let's go ahead and add the logout route as well here. And to do that, we can actually just copy this guy, and so the logout route should always be a post route, so it should not be a get route. The reason is, if it is a get route, it is exploitable using the CSRF tag. So always put your logout method as a post route. And yeah, so let me actually quickly write post form here. So on click, we'll just submit the seller logout form. So here you can actually put maybe confirmation here. If confirm, if are you sure, only then logout. And yeah, I think that's all we need to do. And then we also need to create the seller logout route. So let's go ahead and quickly create it. So for that, we just need to change this guy, and it will be seller login, and we'll change it to seller logout. And here we'll call the logout method. Cool. So I'll just go here and write the logout method. Okay. So that's all we need to do. Let's go ahead and check it out. So everything is going fine. So logout, okay. So once logout, we also need to redirect the user. And let's check it again. So we are the user is already logged out. So let's actually check it. Okay. So we'll call it seller at shop.com. So yeah, our seller login is working. Let's actually redone this. So yeah, once log out, it actually remove this name from here. So yeah, that's it for the seller. Let's go ahead and now create the customer authentication system. So for that, we'll just copy everything here. So instead of seller, we'll just change to customer. And also we need to change this to a customer controller. So now let's go ahead and create the controller. So the customer controller is created. Let's go ahead and check, copy everything from here, and we'll post it here. Okay. So now here, we, instead of seller guard, we will be using customer guard. So we'll change this, and we also need to change it. And here, instead of redirecting this to item index, we'll redirect this to home page. And we'll show the welcome message here. And yeah, that's all we need to change. So, and yeah, here we need to change this to customer, and also here. So I think that's everything that we need to do. And yeah, let's actually copy this guy and create a customer login route. Okay. And here we'll just change this to customer authenticate. And I think we are all set. So let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, so we got the customer login route. We just need to change this now. So yeah, we got everything we need. So let's actually quickly check this validation. So validation is working fine. So, yeah. So let me actually try to log in with seller. Cool. So this is working fine, which is not right. So it should not be logged in. So problem is like our view is not updated. So we need to change this to customer login here. I think now it should work. So yeah, cool. Let's quickly log this out. The login. Okay, logged out. And here now we can actually do the customer login. Let's try with seller first and select. Okay, the customer login route is not found. Let's actually check it out. So what is the problem here? Okay, route.post, customer login, customer authenticate. So to change this here. So yeah, so the problem is like it is throwing in 404 because it's not able to find the customer here. The reason is this guy. Let's change it to first, and if not, no user is found, so we'll return back with an error message. Email or password is incorrect. So yep, I think this is the same thing that we need to do for seller as well. Let's quickly do this here. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and try it again. So in the customer login page, we will not be able to log in with the seller, and same goes for seller. From the seller, will not be able to log in with the customer. So this is the whole point of this double authentication system. So you have two different sign-in pages for for your customer and seller, and they can use it at their convenience. So yeah, let's try to actually log in with the customer here. Okay, so if you log in with the customer, so we get the welcome message, shop customer, and yeah, that's it. But the problem is this login route will not work for the customer, so we need to create a different route. So actually, let's go to navbar and create something here. For example, so if it is seller, actually let's just bring this guy first now. And so this should only be displayable that if the seller is logged in. So for that we can check if auth, actually auth also take a guard seller, I think so. If you go here, yeah, if auth method also take the guard. So here we can just do the check. So if seller is logged in, only then show this guy, and here we can remove this guy now, and we can just show this. So now we need to copy this guy, and we also need to add this for the customer. So here we're checking like if the customer is logged in. The check method actually check if someone or some user is logged in or not. So if the user is logged in, so we want to show his name here. So we don't want category and items out for this. We only want this logout route. So we'll just customer logout. We will call it customer logout form, customer logout form. Okay, and we just need to go ahead and create the customer logout form. I think it's already there. So yeah, customer logout form is already there, and here we just need to change the guard. So guard is already updated. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. So yeah, now we have customer here. So if we click on it, so the customer will be logged out. But there is a syntax error. Let's go ahead and fix that. So yeah, there is an extra G here. So let's go ahead and remove it for the typo. Cool. So yeah, so we need to fix this problem. So yeah, I think it's fine. Let's go back and click the logout again. Okay, cool. So now we have two authentication system. Let me actually quickly add. If no user is logged in, we will show seller login button and also the customer login button. And let's try the whole flow again. Okay, so I'll go to navbar again, which is already here. So here we can check like if not seller and not if here we're checking like if customer is not seller is not logged in and the customer is also not logged in. So we'll just show setting here, and here now we'll show two login routes, one for the customer and one for the seller. Customer login, here we can say maybe user, and I can say seller login. Here we can say shop maybe, and let's remove this logout route from here. I think we are all set. Let's go ahead and check it. Okay. So we got the customer login and we got the seller login. The icon is not displaying, but it's fine. We are not worried about it. So customer login, we have the seller login. So let's go ahead and check the customer login now. So okay, we are able to log in as a customer. let's log it out, and let's go ahead and click on the seller login. Before actually do that, we need to add the partial message from the items page. Here, I think we can put it above the table. Okay, let's go ahead and log in the seller. Okay, cool. So we're able to log in the seller. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you for this video. So now you learned, like how you can add multiple authentication systems. So in ideally, like I have worked on the app where we had like at least 4 type of user, like admin, we have sellers, we have customers, and then we have customer support, which was not type around because they have a kind of a separate portal for them. So yeah, but now, and you can add as many type of authentication system as you want, and it will still work. So I will push these changes on the GitHub. So if you want to practice it out or review it, you can review it. And if you have any comment or question, please let me know. Just as a final note, I have plans to build this project to a full-fledged Laravel e-commerce app during our video series. And if you have any question, comments, or anything specifically you want me to build on top of these, please let me know, and I will try to make a video on it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Cheers.